Okay, today we're going to talk about early tomato blight. This is an example, and I'm going to show you some photos of it as well, but I don't know if you can see on this leaf, there's some black spots showing, and you often see what looks like a bullseye target. Early blight's caused by a lot of rain and a lot of humidity and your leaves being a little too close to the ground. And what happens is you have all that rain and humidity and it bounces back from the soil, and the pathogens kind of bounce back up on the leaves. And if you don't have them trimmed up like this, then it does catch on to your plants and it can ruin your crop. Most of the time it's not a huge problem as long as you catch it early. As you can see, this little tomato plant that may not make it here is where my early blight started. So what I've done is you take a cup of water with a little bit of Clorox in it and your scissors, and you trim all the limbs from the base here as far up as you can get that are touching over on the soil. And you also want to mulch heavily around the bottom to prevent some of that backsplash, and make sure that you're irrigating from the ground and not from above. Sometimes it's just not easily preventable. There's still a little bit of early blight on these. I'm afraid if I trim any more of this one, it won't get enough sunlight. So we're gonna watch this one and see how it does. I may have to pull it up. But I went ahead and went around all the other tomato plants, and don't be afraid to trim them a good, 8 to 12 inches off the ground to prevent those from getting the same thing. I'm gonna show you some that I have not done yet. As you can see, this bed, they are just full to the ground. I've gotten lucky that they haven't caught the blight just yet, but I'm going to trim those up this morning using a sharp pair of scissors. And between each cut, I'm going to dip them in that Clorox water just to prevent from spreading that pathogen, and then hopefully everything will be just fine. Got some pretty little yellow blooms coming already where there's going to be some tomatoes. As you can see, this is an example of a sucker here that you would need to cut off. Of course, I'm pinching it, but it would be better to cut those. And you want to also make sure that you stake these well to get proper airflow. So I'm going to do this on these, and I'll show you the after.